The Hollywood Reporter has reported that the Palisades Fire has destroyed Anna Faris Pacific Palisades residence. The actress's publicist tweeted on Wednesday that Anna and her family are safe and grateful. After parting from actor Chris Pratt in 2019, the Scary Movie and Just Friends star purchased a house. The two have a 12-year-old son named Jack. During her time working on the 2018 remake of Overboard, she became acquainted with cinematographer Michael Barrett, and the two of them are now married. 130,000 people in the city are being impacted by the 6 fires that are still blazing around Los Angeles County as of Wednesday night. These fires include the Eaton, Hearst, Woodley, and Lydia fires. One of the people who is being affected is Faris, who is the host of the podcast Anna Faris is Unqualified. The terrible fire started in Pacific Palisades on Tuesday and spread to Malibu and Santa Monica throughout the course of the night. It was fueled by winds from Santa Ana. The host, Melissa Rivers, who is the daughter of the Jewish comedian Joan Rivers, who passed away earlier this week, told CNN on Wednesday that it's amazing what you grab. It's amazing what you take. It was during this conversation that she was talking about her house, which had been destroyed by the wildfires that have been raging in Southern California since Tuesday of this present week. In addition to obtaining the necessary documents, such as passports and other papers, as well as medication and food for her pets, Rivers went to her workplace before leaving her residence. There, she was able to retrieve the one and only Emmy Award that her mother had earned in 1990. Exceptional presentation and service, showed the host for her work on the Joan Rivers Show. In addition to a photograph of her late father, producer Edgar Rosenberg, Melissa recalled that her mother would answer the phone with Rosenberg residence up until the time of her death, and a drawing that her mother had created of Melissa and her son Edgar. Rather than a photograph, she added, I decided to go with a drawing of my mother because I am confident that I will be able to locate the photographs. She expressed that she was unable to replace the drawing. According to Rivers, she considered herself quite fortunate because she was at her office at home when she was informed that she needed to evacuate, which meant that she was able to retrieve a few essential belongings. That's it. That's the end of everything that belonged to my family and the history of it, she added. In my personal situation, that has been the end of everything. Just now I went out to do some shopping for clothes. She continued by saying, it started to dawn on me. We literally just had what was on our backs. It is not just Rivers who has lost a property as a result of the flames. Other Jewish celebrities have also. There are a number of celebrities like Diane Warren, Eugene Levy, Jennifer Grey, Ricki Lake, and Adam Brody, who have lost the homes that they had called home for significant amounts of time. As of right now, firefighters are continuing their tireless efforts to put out the fires that have resulted in the deaths of at least 5 individuals and the displacement of over 1,800. Zero people, including the Jewish community of over 200, people in the Palisades. The Pasadena Jewish Temple and Center, a historic conservative synagogue, was completely destroyed by the fire. Nevertheless, the community that was there was able to salvage the 13 Torah scrolls that were belonging to the congregation. Ross and I were unable to purchase the house of our dreams. The phrase dream home does not adequately describe the property. I grieve along with all of those suffering during this apocalyptic event, Lake wrote on Instagram about her house in Malibu, describing it as our heaven on earth. My wife Janice and I have been residing in this house since the year 1979. Billy Crystal revealed in a statement to People that he and his family have reared their children and grandchildren in this location. Every nook and cranny of our home was impregnated with affection, wonderful recollections that cannot be erased from one's mind. Crystal stated in a statement with People that she and her family are heartbroken, but that they will be able to get through this difficult time with the support of their children and friends. When the fires broke out, Jamie Lee Curtis, who lives in the Palisades, went on The Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon and began crying as she addressed the audience. She was speaking about the tragedy that had occurred. Everything, including the market and the schools that my children attend, is located right here. This is exactly where I live. A large number of friends have been displaced from their houses. This is a truly terrible circumstance, she informed me. She urged everyone to do whatever they can in their communities to assist, and she assured everyone that she would personally donate $1 million to assist with the efforts to rescue and reconstruct survivors. Police Academy star Steve Guttenberg, who was a member of the Kehillat Israel congregation in Pacific Palisades, which has been able to withstand the fire so far, became a real-life hero when he volunteered to assist firefighters in clearing the Palisades Drive of abandoned automobiles so that they could carry out their duties. During the course of the action, a reporter from KTLA came across him, but at first he did not recognize him. In his conversation with the reporter, Guttenberg stated, "There are families out there, there are pets out there, and there are people who really need this assistance." Guttenberg says, "It is of the utmost significance for individuals to assist one another. It is in everyone's best interest to join together, and you shouldn't be concerned about your own personal possessions. Instead, you should just get out of there. Gather your loved ones and get out of there." Following his statement, he reminded anyone who was forced to abandon their vehicle in the event of a fire to leave your key in there. He stated, "I have friends up there who are unable to get out, and they have been given evacuation orders." Afterwards, Guttenberg stated that he and other volunteers had to acquire enormous bulldozers in order to clear the path. "I haven't seen anything like this in my entire life, and I don't think many people have," he said to Laura Coates of CNN about what he witnessed on Tuesday. "I don't think many people have seen anything like this." It was a picture-perfect scene in the Pacific Palisades around 9 o'clock in the morning, but by 10 o'clock, approximately 10:30, the sky had become so gloomy that it appeared to be nightfall. There were moms who were so scared about their family that they were screaming and had panic attacks. They were concerned about their families since they were unable to get them out of the building in time. Tiny children were shedding tears. There were individuals who were unable to communicate in English, and at the same time they were driving the automobiles of their friends or their bosses, taking care to avoid accidents. Now is the time for us to keep in mind that we are members of a community that stands together to support one another. Be considerate to one another. Ask the person who is in need of assistance what it is that they require. At this moment, if you are able-bodied, you should do whatever you can, Guttenberg advised the viewers in the surrounding area. In addition, we would want to express our deepest gratitude to the firemen who are working diligently to put out these dreadful fires. Our hearts go out to anybody who has been harmed by them. We pray that the fires will be extinguished and that the efforts to rebuild will begin as soon as possible. Despite having 5 bedrooms and 6 bathrooms, the couple's home has been reduced to a smoldering demolition site. The couple's home had been vacant for some time. Just 2 days prior to the outbreak of the out-of-control fires, Adam, who is 45 years old, and Leighton, who is 38 years old, were last seen attending the Golden Globe Awards on Sunday. The pair purchased the property in 2019 for a total price of $6.5 million, PS $5.25 million, and they are currently residing there with their 2 young children. The mansion was purchased by the couple. The Pacific Palisades bachelor pad that Ben Affleck purchased for $20 million has also been consumed by fire, as has the property that Anna Faris stays in. Both of these properties were purchased by different people. In addition, reality television star Spencer Pratt and his wife Heidi Montag have been compelled to vacate their residence. On Wednesday, January 9th, 2025, actor Ben Affleck was forced to evacuate his house in Los Angeles due to the fact that the wildfire in the Pacific Palisades was growing dangerously close to the property. Following the breakup of his marriage to Jennifer Lopez, Affleck had only recently purchased the bachelor home, which had a price tag of $20 million. In spite of his best efforts to salvage the situation, the raging wildfire prompted him to make a quick retreat to the residence of his ex-wife Jennifer Garner, which was close to the fire, in order to find safety from the danger. On account of the wildfires that are raging over Los Angeles County, the Pacific Palisades residence that Billy Crystal and his wife Janice have lived in since 1979 has been completely destroyed by fire. The Crystal says in a statement that was supplied to Entertainment Weekly, "The magnitude of the destruction that we are witnessing and experiencing is indescribable. The destruction of homes and businesses belonging to our friends and neighbors as a result of this calamity has left us in a state of profound sorrow." The statement continues by saying, "Janice and I have lived in our home since 1979, and going on to explain, this is the place where we have raised our children and grandchildren. Our home was filled with affection in every nook and cranny of its space. Lovely recollections that cannot be replaced in any way. Naturally, we are in utter disbelief, but with the help of our loved ones and friends, we will prevail over this unfortunate circumstance. The safety of the firefighters and other first responders is another thing that we pray for. We are certain that the Pacific Palisades, which is comprised of a community of remarkable individuals who are also tenacious, will eventually rise once more. It is our home," Crystal was quoted as saying at the conclusion of his remarks. Yesterday morning at approximately 10:30 a.m., the Palisades Fire broke out in the vicinity of North Piedra Drive, as reported by the Los Angeles Fire Department. Due to the fact that the fire that started on 200 acres has now spread to 500 acres, more than 1,000 buildings have been destroyed, and thousands of residents have been forced to abandon their homes. There are a number of fires that are now raging in Los Angeles County, including the Palisades Fire. Two of these fires include the Antelope Valley Lydia Fire and the Eaton Fire, which extends from Burbank to Duarte. Cary Elwes has provided an update revealing that he has lost his home in Malibu after documenting his migration. "We are grateful to have survived this truly devastating fire," he stated in his letter. During the evening of Tuesday around 10:30 p.m. local time, Cary Elwes videotaped his departure from Malibu. The actress from Princess Bride temporarily applied the brakes in order to take a picture of the Palisades Fire when he was driving down the twisting roads of Los Angeles, which are located in close proximity to what has been termed as the apocalyptic Palisades Fire. He uploaded the video to Instagram and included the hashtag biblical in the caption. On the following day, he provided an update, stating that he and his family were unharmed, but that their home had been damaged. "I am thankful that we were able to survive this incredibly catastrophic fire," he posted on Instagram on Wednesday. "Unfortunately, we did lose our home, but we are grateful to have survived. We would like to express our gratitude to all of the firefighters, first responders, and law enforcement officers that worked so tirelessly throughout the night and are still doing their jobs. Our thoughts go out to all of the families that have been affected by this awful tragedy." Diane Warren, a musician who has won at least one Grammy, asserts that the terrible flames that have been spreading through Los Angeles County have destroyed the beach property that she has owned for the past 30 years. On Wednesday, the songwriter, who has been nominated for 15 Academy Awards, posted a photograph of a rock on the beach behind her house on Instagram. In the photo, she was thinking about her friend Leah, who had passed away. "From my beach house, I took this last picture of Leah's rock," the photographer said. "This home has been in my possession for close to 30 years. It seems as though the fire that occurred last night had completely obliterated it," she writes. "I interpret the rainbow that is shining on it as a sign of hope for all creatures impacted by this tragedy." A terrible fire in Palisades caused the destruction of Eugene Levy's home, which was valued at $3.9 million. One of the many famous people who have lost their homes as a result of the Palisades Fire is Eugene Levy, who played the role of Shit Creek. As of Wednesday, his home in California, which was valued at $3.9 million, was completely destroyed by the flames. While the area was being evacuated the day before the news was made public, he had a conversation with the media on the controversial topic. In addition to Levy, a lot of other well-known persons have also escaped and provided terrible information about the destruction caused by the fire. The star of the television show Schitt's Creek, Eugene Levy, was one of the many people who were affected by the wildfires that occurred in California. Eugene Levy, an actor who appeared in the television series Schitt's Creek and who served as the honorary mayor of Pacific Palisades, recently suffered the loss of his home as a consequence of the fires that were raging in the state of California. The Daily Mail released photographs that were taken inside the star's mansion, which has since been destroyed and is covered in debris. While he was evacuating the area in the midst of the fire, the actor made a brief conversation with the reporters. Nevertheless, he has not yet addressed the tragedy in a public forum. Jamie Lee Curtis breaks down in tears when she is asked about the horrific fires that have been occurring in Los Angeles. She claims, "This is literally where I live." In the course of Curtis's appearance on The Tonight Show on Wednesday, January 8th, Jimmy Fallon offered her some solace as they were talking about the tragedy that had occurred in her city. Jamie Lee Curtis is upset because of the horrific fires that had occurred in Los Angeles. During an appearance on The Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon that took place on January 8th, the 66-year-old actress and producer broke down in tears as she discussed the fire that occurred in her neighborhood. Curtis made the following remark when Jimmy Fallon, who was 50 years old and hosts the show, conveyed his condolences. "I'm literally just about to cry." In an effort to regain her composure, Curtis said, "As you are aware, my house is currently engulfed in flames. The entirety of the city of Pacific Palisades is currently engulfed in flames." By subscribing to the free daily email that People provides, you will be able to know about the best that the publication has to offer, which includes anything from engaging human interest stories to juicy celebrity news. Kate Beckinsale, an actress, is among the growing number of celebrities who have expressed their concern for the deadly wildfires that are sweeping across the state of California. The Palisades Fire has expanded dramatically since it started on Tuesday, tripling in size from an estimated 2,900 acres at the beginning of Wednesday to an estimated 1,180,2 acres. This represents a major reduction in the magnitude of the fire. However, Los Angeles Fire Chief Christian Crowley reported that the fire had spread across 1,080,2 acres during a briefing that took place on Wednesday. In addition to the fact that the fire has already consumed at least 1,000 structures, tens of thousands of people are still being ordered to evacuate their homes. As the fires continue to rage, Kate Beckinsale took to Instagram to express her sorrow over the destruction that has occurred in the neighborhood where her daughter made her home in the Pacific Palisades Peninsula.